What is up, everybody? Welcome to Trey's Trades, where we give technical analysis on different stocks in the stock market, as well as potential buy, hold, or sell opinions on these given stocks. I'd like to preface by saying that I'm not a financial advisor nor expert. I am just some random dude on YouTube, so take what I say with a grain of salt. The reason that I started this channel is because a couple of years back, I was about $30,000 deep in some really bad medical debt, and I was very lucky to have some close family, friends, and mentors that pushed me to work really hard and invest my money in the market, and I am now a financially free guy. So if I can pass along any of the information, resources, or tools that were shared with me to you guys and change your lives just a little bit for the better, that's all a guy can ask for. Lastly, if you wouldn't mind dropping a like on the video, it really does help support the channel. And these presentation style videos do take longer to prepare. It's because I want to do some solid due diligence and research to get you guys the information you need. So please support the video, please support the channel. That'd mean a lot. And consider subscribing if you'd like to see more content like this. I do cover Microvision very frequently, just about every day, sometimes more. I really love this company. I love talking about it, and I love answering all your questions. So with that being said, let's get into today's video. I have been asked on multiple Microvision videos, Trey, what is going to happen if Microvision is acquired? How much money am I going to make if Microvision is acquired? Who's going to acquire Microvision? What is an acquiry? Well, I think this is a lot easier than answering 10,000 different comments asking about it, and that's going to make things perfect because you can reference this at any given time. So let's just get right into the video. What is an acquisition? One company purchases most or all of another company's shares to gain control of the company. Purchasing more than 50% stake allows acquirer to make decisions about newly acquired assets without approval of shareholders. And that might sound a little bit negative, and it can be a little bit negative. I'm not going to beat around the bush. Sometimes a company acquisition is not mutual, meaning that the company that is interested in acquiring the other company can simply just buy a 50% stake or higher in shares, and all of a sudden they control the company. They get control over the shareholders. They get control over the newly acquired assets. They can make company decisions without the prior management's approval, and that's sometimes not mutual. Do I think this is going to happen with Microvision? Not at all. Not at all. Lidar tech, MVIS tech, this stuff is awesome, and I really think there are some companies that are genuinely interested in striking a deal with Microvision, so I think that's more likely the route that we're going to go, and we'll talk about that later. Why make an acquisition? Well, the reason may include a couple of different things, right? So economies of scale, diversification, greater market share, increased synergy, cost reductions, and niche offerings. And the ones in here that I think will impact Microvision the most are the economies of sale, greater market share, and cost reductions. And cost reductions is huge. So they're a tech company, guys. And I don't know about you, but I own a gaming computer. It's one of those iBuyPower, I think is the brand of it. I own one of these, and it was like $1,500, right, for my whole setup. And I imagine that Microvision is working with computers that are probably 10 times more expensive than this, and they probably have, dozens or hundreds of them that they need to work with every day. Well, let's just assume that Apple or Microsoft buy out Microvision. Do you think there's any chance they're gonna sell them some computers for a little bit cheaper, or that they'll even have to sell computers, since they make them? Probably not. That's probably gonna reduce some costs. It's just these kinds of things, right? It's all about who's acquiring the company, what they're able to do for them. Greater market share. So obviously being acquired by Apple or Microsoft is going to just, by the nature of who's acquiring you, increase the market share, which is beautiful. Do I think those two companies will buy out Microvision? Well, I'll tell you my opinion later, but I do think there is going to be an acquisition. However, when, that's a different question, but I do think it's going to happen. We're just waiting on the right timing. Entering a foreign market, that's another reason. I don't think that's particularly the reason for Microvision, but it is a reason that a company may have an acquisition go down. So like, let's say Ford all of a sudden really wanted to branch out in China, so they're in talks with NIO. This is completely hypothetical. I don't think this would ever happen, obviously, but they talk with NIO, and NIO's like, yeah, okay, we'll acquire you, but you need to enter the foreign market. You need to come here in China and put your stock on the Chinese listings. That's an option. Growth strategy. I think this is the largest thing for Microvision. They are looking to make money, and they've stated before in their Q3 financial statements that they are actively pursuing ways to increase company value and shareholder value, and that is a perfect way to do it as an acquisition. And I really do think this is going to happen, especially with the $740 billion defense bill that passed, and Microsoft has some ties in that. I keep hinting at Microsoft, but I just think that's probably the most likely acquisition to happen. We don't have any news yet. This is all speculative, so this isn't me telling you hard data. Microsoft is acquiring Microvision. I don't want to see that in the comments because that's not true, but it is possible, guys. It really is. That could definitely happen. Excess capacity, reduced competition. This is a huge hint, so you probably are aware already, but VLDR is a comparable company worth a little bit more per share than Microvision, and there's some competition. And I guarantee you, if this company is acquired by another company like Microsoft, Apple, Ford, hypothetically Tesla. I know people think that Elon Musk would never acquire Microvision because he doesn't like lidar, but I was reading this and this was very interesting to me. Somebody who is planning to acquire a company is not going to say anything good about the company because that is going to increase the price at which he has to buy it at. Oof, heavy. So maybe Elon Musk would want it. Who knows? It's tough to say. It's all speculative. Gaining new tech, and that is obviously huge for Microvision. I won't even get into that. You already know. Acquisition versus takeover versus merger. So an acquisition, these are the three different types of ways that a company can be acquired. An acquisition is mostly amiable, mostly benefits both target acquiring and target companies. So this is kind of what we're looking for with Microvision, is an acquisition. That's probably the most likely thing to happen. A takeover, however, is usually hostile, and not of free will. So this is purchasing over 50% of the shares, and at that point you get to decide what you do with certain assets of the company without shareholder approval. You get to make different management decisions, all of that sort of stuff. Mergers. Mutual creates a new company, typical of companies of similar nature and size. So you can think of LCA, like Acadia Holdings, and GNOG, Golden Nugget. That is exactly what happened there. It's a new company. So two prior companies came together, merged, and now you've got Golden Nugget Gaming, right? So that's another option. I don't think that's going to happen with Microvision, but it is a possibility. Now, all of these do have different financial incentives. A merger, typically called a SPAC stock, this will shoot up the share price on a stock as well as an acquisition. But this, you're looking at a longer time frame, because typically we have a hard date in which we're expecting a merger, like we had with LCA. And once that hard date comes out, typically the stock price will steadily and slowly increase up and up and up until the merger date, and then the merger hits, the ticker symbol changes, and it'll usually drop a little bit the next day, 5-10%. People will take profits because it's uncertain what's going to happen with the company. But typically, merger companies do pretty well. The stock price recovers and it goes back up and people make a lot of money. But that is an option for making quick cash, is through mergers and SPAC stocks. An acquisition, however, as we talked about, is a little bit different. I haven't talked about it yet. It's the next slide. Just kidding. All right, acquisition candidates. All right, so they're looking for, is the price right? Examine the debt, undo litigation, and scrutinize the financials. So a company that looks to acquire Microvision is going to be looking at, all right, how much is the share price valuation at the moment? How's their debt situation looking? Are they under litigation? Meaning, do they have any sort of legal issues that we have to deal with? And the financials, how are they looking? How's their cash flow? Are they making money? Do they have any assets that we can liquidize if we need to? Do they have any liabilities? How's their cash flow? All this stuff matters, and companies are always going to look at that. So Microvision, I believe, it's hard to say for sure. I think this is most likely to happen after April when they have a presentation on their automotive lidar systems. However, if it is possible that the company they're in talks with could already know about all this stuff and be willing to take that on, we just don't know. So how much money do I make if MVIS is acquired? This is what we all want to know, right? This is the grand prize at the end. Well, this is acquiree dependent. Now, there is a couple different ways that a company can pay its shareholders when they are acquiring the company. And the options include you are paid per $1 billion in sales. So hypothetically, let's say that Ford is going to acquire Microvision, and they say, all right, guys, we think your company is worth $5 billion. This is what we're going to pay you. All right, so at that point, the shareholders are going to be paid a cut of that $5 billion, and you are paid a multiple of the sale per $1 billion. So the current share price is sitting at $5.30. You'd be paid 5 times that for $26.50 per share. And I have also seen some deals where they will just set a hard number in which they pay per share price. So like per $5 billion in sales, Ford might say, all right, we're willing to pay you $5 billion or $7 per share times that $5 billion. And they'll set, okay, this is what we think the value of your share is right now, and we'll pay that $5 billion times that. So that'd be $35. And you know, it varies a lot. There's no way to know exactly how much you're going to be paid in the merger, or not the merger, the acquisition, but it is a lot. And I have a couple of examples that I'm going to show you. Another option is you're paid in the new company's stock, meaning that, okay, however many shares you had in this company, when we acquire them, we're going to give you the exact same amount of shares in our company. And typically it's going to be worth more money, right? I think, you know, Microvision is trading at $5.30 right now, and if they're bought out by Microsoft, and Microsoft says, all right, we're gonna make our whole new lidar and MVIS and tech company, and they decide to name it something else, well, you're gonna get shares in that, and just because it's made by Microsoft, it's already off the bat, I'd almost be willing to bet you money it's gonna be worth more than $5.30. So you'd make money. Or you could be paid a hard set price per share. And I have a couple examples that I will show you. I think the most likely scenario is going to be right here. This is the one that I've been reading about the most. So just keep that in the back of your mind. It is, of course, hard to say how much we will get paid, but it will be a lot if there is a merger date. Now, this isn't me telling you to sit here and hold shares and buy expecting a merger date, right? That's a bonus. You don't buy a company simply for a merger or for an acquisition, right? We aren't buying shares blindly hoping for an acquisition. However, it is possible to happen. So if you believe in a company, like I believe in Microvision, I think this company is going to be a huge growth stock in the next year, 2 years, and you're willing to hold it for the company itself, like I am, like others are, you know. This is a great way to maximize profits while also having the capability of the company being acquired and having that additional upside, right? So we don't buy companies solely for being acquired, unless you find out that day they're getting acquired, in which case, why not, you know? I wouldn't blame you for that. Quick coffee break, hold on. That's good stuff. All right, enough about that. Let's get going. How will I know if MVIS is being acquired? Well, news will be scarce, but the stock price will skyrocket the day of. And I've got a couple of examples here. So, GCI on January 11th, 2020 closed at $9.75. January 14th opened at $11.56, and they were offered an acquiree that weekend for $12 a share. So, you should see a very exponential increase in stock price the day of. That's a pretty good sign that insiders, big institutions, Wall Street, any of those big wig buyers know that something's about to go down. And honestly, even if an acquiree doesn't go down, I don't know why you wouldn't want to ride along on a really gnarly hype ride, you know. That's a great way to know. This is typically what's going to happen. Red Hat, 49% increase one day after IBM acquiry. They went from $116.68 to $190 a share. Woo! That is filthy. Absolute filth. Nuts. Oh. Anyways, that is a way that you know when a stock is going to be acquired. You should see a very drastic spike in stock valuation. And you might have thought to yourself, well, hold on a sec. This stock was trading at like $2 a share a couple weeks ago, and it went up to $9.75. Why didn't it get acquired? Like I said, this is just a sign that it could be being acquired. It's not a 100% guarantee, but typically when there's no news, and this is the key thing, when there's no news and a company's stock price is skyrocketing, there's a reason for it. You might not know it, but there's a reason for it. Things don't happen randomly in the stock market. It all is planned. There's always things happening. And the more that we can pay attention to these kinds of things, the more we can benefit from institutional buyers, from these acquisitions, from mergers, from news catalysts, from public relations. All these things tie in. So that is most likely the way you're going to know if the company is being acquired. With that being said, that is all that I have on acquisitions, mergers, and takeovers. I hope that answers some of the questions. I tried to make a presentation that kind of encompassed all the questions that I've been asked in the comment section. So let me know if you have any more questions. I would love to answer you, and I appreciate your time. Happy New Year, my friends. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like. It really does help support the channel. Consider subscribing if you'd like to see more content like this. We are just freaking skyrocketing in the subscribers category. I can't believe it. I woke up this morning to 785 subs. This is absolutely unreal. I don't know how else to say it, guys. You all rock. Lastly, I have an affiliate link in the description box down below to TubeBuddy. Now, what TubeBuddy is it is a subscription-based website that I personally pay for. I pay $9 a month for the pro membership, and what this does is it optimizes my SEO results, so it makes my videos searchable. If you are a content creator, I very highly recommend TubeBuddy. It has done great for me. It's helped to grow my channel as much as it has in the last 3 weeks, and I do have an affiliate link in the description box. If you'd like to use it, you just need to click the link, go buy a membership. You don't even need to do that. It does have a free option if you'd like to do that, but if you purchase a subscription using my link, I will receive a commission. That is a great way to support the channel. If you're not interested, I just appreciate you guys' time. I appreciate your support to the channel, and I appreciate the community we're building out here. So that is all that I have for you guys, and I will see you all next time. Peace.